I was just testing the mute mic just in case if I needed to do that, just in case of like all of a sudden an alarm goes off or mute it. So yeah, hopefully the microphone volume is pretty good, and we will see how this goes. So again, if you're watching now or in the future, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, anything. All support is helpful and encouraging. And like I said, trying to get used to having all these things open. Go. And I'll try to describe things. I know I kind of described things in the previous stream, but it sometimes it's always good to talk through what you're doing. Who knows, maybe someone will it'll interest someone else in the jumping in, maybe make it easier for them to make their map. So this is a spawner. These little red things are all spawners. You want to kind of have them halfway in the ground. Zombies. Things to notice. I think they automatically come with the script noteworthy and the script string for like riser location, and find flesh is what it tells the zombie what it needs to do. It needs to find flesh, which is find the player and attack them. The target name is the zone has a target, and that target, the zone that you're in has a target, and you want the target name of this to match that target so that it knows, hey, spawn zombies in this area if the player is in or near this. So this is Tower A, which I named Tower _A. I always try to write these down because you're gonna need to know what things are. So this is Tower A spawner. Spawner is plural. I've done. And the other thing, that should be all I have to do. Now I just gotta put these around the map inside the zone and try not to get it in the middle of the area. The players aren't running into the spawns and getting tripped up and getting angry because they died cheaply or had a cheap death. I have the first 3 floors being its own zone. So they'll try to, if you're on the first 3 floors of either tower, in that specific tower, it tries to spawn on them near you. Put a few on the bottom floor. It's gonna be exciting whenever I get into the actual map. If the zombies get stuck on the stairway, how they act, because I have not been able to test any of that. But I tried to work smart and not hard, so if that ends up happening, hopefully I can make a simple change and that'll fix it for all of them. But that's me believing in my own ability. So, see. Gonna be real fun is whenever I'm sitting here scratching my head thinking about what do I gotta put on these. This map is already huge. I'll probably be very limited on where I spawn the zombies on the actual staircase, because that is going to be death. And not a fun death. do here. Yeah, we'll have to see if this step ends up being the death one. Players die more. I wonder what kind of logic people use, like actual like developers use for, you know, size of steps, size of walkways. Because I think for the most part for my map, it's been slightly easier everywhere except for like the boss fights and the lockdown, which both places have significant walk. So I try to also add a little bit of difficulty to it. Third floor, which is technically floor 1. Because this is tower 1. I can need. Although maybe I'll put like players can go through it, and after they do all the steps, I'll put it so that maybe they can teleport to different elevators. Fast travel. Actually, I gotta put these volumes back on because I don't want to accidentally be putting in that. This might actually be dangerous. That floor is going to spawn zombies everywhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep the zombie spawn. I wonder if that just means player will just. Yeah, I lied. 21. Okay, so I think all that is still. Entity. Still tower 1. Tower A1 spawners. And that. Now I move on to tower A2 spawners. Go up the list. Like I said, I'll probably end up doing this for the rest of the hour. Working on small things like this. If I get significantly close to doing this, to finishing this up, what I might do is I might end the stream, compile the map, because that takes a little bit of time. Maybe do a quick 10 to 20-minute stream of me testing this new area. Honors. Make that its own video. And have a little bit of fun with it. But I will have to, actually, now that I think about it, I will have to go in the code and just set a few flags. All right, I have to change it. But that one hasn't. WM. I will also be going back probably at some time stream to see if it's cutting out my audio too quickly. I'm not speaking loud enough, which I don't want to go any louder than this as my speaking voice, because then that's just kind of crazy. What the heck was the neighbor doing? Is he killing someone? Then who knows? It'll set the cats. I just got to worry about them scratching at the door to try to claw it down. Feed me, feed me. Oh, up to this volume goes up. A little way. If you see me constantly looking over, right, I'm just paying attention to the chat and the viewer, so I can get an eyeball for if someone's here or if anyone says anything. I'm just gonna throw one up higher at the edge of this. I know, like, hey, don't go any. Actually, I'm not using the side view. This. Yeah, so that zone is just out of this. Dark. Let me switch to this. I did not realize I had to into the prefab at some point in time to fix that. Now, I wonder if people, whenever they're playing this, might complain that this tower's too. But my goal was to do what I can, relatively accurate to what. And these towers are 30, 30 flights of steps tall. What I went with. Plus, it's it'll throw up a little. It breaks the monotony of a elevator building. Snowy field, elevator building with 3 floors, snowy field, or small straight path in between each of them. So you get a little bit of a tiny tower map right after you. So I went through work to find all I need, and it was only 2 more. Okay. Work smart, not hard. Some. That was. Wait, why are these? A2. Okay. Can't wait till I mess that up. Start putting B spawners in A and A spawners in B and not connect things properly and weird stuff. For any of you coders out there, C++ coders, and you'll realize there was a meme going around. I don't know why my code works. Like, I don't know why my code doesn't work. And then there's other times where it's like, I don't know why my code works. I don't know what I did, but it works. Sometimes mentally you're in that mind space. So yeah, that's where I'll be later on whenever I'm doing the coding aspects of it. But at least activating the zones is pretty simple. It's actually just one line. One line per flag that you. And then eventually I'll have to figure out how to actually incorporate that actual gameplay, setting it for demonstration purposes. And again, if you're watching the stream in the future, the links to download this map, also to join the Discord, see I have some guides there or maybe eventually whenever I start figuring out what I'm doing streams, have people joining in the voice chat channel, friend or two, people who I marked as developers of the map. Maybe I'll have it. Because one of them's Bajos has helped me test frequent occasion, and Metal Grave has helped me with having someone to chat to about Metal, because it's big fans of it growing up. Even though technically I never owned the first game, my story with that is I played the first game, really liked it, but never owned it. I only had the first disc, and you need both discs to play it. Plus, I think I was probably like 8 at the time. Like, I don't even know when the Metal Gear came out and how many years. Or when I actually fully get to sit down, not just play the first room demo. Or the Ape Escape stuff, or whatever they had in one of the games. But then Metal Gear Solid 2 came out. Even though you'd think, oh, you only get to play as Snake for the first, like, fourth of the game. Not even. I think that was around the time when someone left a Godsmack CD on the school bus, and it found its way home, listened to it, and then for some reason just got addicted to the Voodoo song. Talk about snake bite and everything, even though talking about drugs, heroin, and what. In my mind, it was just like, oh, snake bite, and we're playing Metal Gear, where you play snake, put those connections together, and you draw crazy connections to that kind of stuff, and sometimes it's not always the logical things that work. It's the illogical, random junk, or but yeah, that was one of the things that I really got me back into metal. I don't know, it's weird. That and just how kind of strange the game was, how different it was. Because I think I was playing just the original Call of Duty on computer, StarCraft, Warcraft 3. I'm trying to think if there's any other games. Back then, I was a Madden player. Shows you how far we've come and how things have changed. Yeah, Madden player. If you can see on the stream, if I ever go big screen, we'll go tons of Steelers stuff. There's always that. Sega Genesis, I don't know. I was a decap attack kind of guy. Uh, big, oh, no, Clancy. I did play a little bit of one of the Tom Clancy games way back when, maybe Siphon Filter or something. Probably as far. 3. Hopefully I didn't. Okay. Just a bunch of random games. Snake on the Nokia cell phone. No reference to Metal Gear. But yeah, I've always had kind of enjoyed the franchise. And then Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 3 came out. I was just like, oh well, this to me it's the best Metal Gear game. The camouflage system, the eating system, storyline, yeah, probably one of the best, if not the best, depending on what your taste is. I was a big fan of 4 whenever it came out. I could definitely see why people wouldn't be, considering that it's like 20 hours of cutscenes. I think as like a high school kid having that game come out, just like, what is this? This is nothing that nothing like I've played before. They have like fake commercials in the game, all that weird stuff going on. And just how weird Kojima was. Weird, fun, different. Nano machines, always the end. That made it. We're going from A3. Yeah, something like this is gonna be a death trap. The amount of spawners that I put in. I can't wait till I get to the top and realize maybe I spelled my tower wrong. That red line, so, well, at least it connected to something, I suppose that means. I'll probably suck them. I just realized that I'm on like different tangents. But hey, that's fine and dandy. Fine with me. Otherwise, you get dead silence, which is typical. I'm debating, since I'm this far into the stream, I'm debating on like ticking up the microphone, maybe like a half decibel, and seeing how that translates, from this distance away from the microphone. For testing purposes. Science. I'll also be interested to see how much of the clicking and keyboard strokes show up on. I should probably just make an infinite per respawn too. Really piss players off. Probably crash the game. That's also another thing too. I've seen one or two people mention that their game crashes when they're playing this map around round 30. That's not something that I've experienced, and so what's going to be really hard is to find out what might be causing that. Do they have certain guns? Are they in certain areas? Certain enemies? Is it at the start of the round? It'll be interesting to see what's going on with that. Is it multiplayer? Are they playing multi? And then I have other things about people not knowing the elevator, or the elevator's not working. That's me kind of confusing because I've coded and tested them out, all the elevators. The only time the elevators do not work is the spawn elevator. You can only take it up one time, and it only comes down once you fill that box. So if you never fill up the soul box, the elevator's never going to come down. And if you never fill up the soul box, that's your fault. No. So now I'm thinking that everyone's just going to take the inside path for the most part, and I don't blame them. That's probably why I'm doing it this way. Putting this on the side, or the spawners on the outside. But I don't know if that'll really matter, because as soon as they spawn, they're going to start running down the steps. I do understand, though, why this map would crash people's games. I mean, how long the map, and it's only getting big. And after the towers here, I'm probably project, maybe. I gotta stop looking away or turning away. See how that? Yeah, I'm probably maybe halfway done with the game, or with the entire map. This all ironed out. I still got the snowfield. I can pull up the code. I started commenting out, so if you see here, I don't know if you can. After the tower, you go into the snowfield, where there's that sniper wolf boss. There's the blast furnace. I believe you have to go back to the blast furnace after you get the pallet card to heat it up. There's the cargo elevator. There's the warehouse, which is in two sections. I think one has like a cooling section with the water where you down. Maybe you cool your pallet key down in this. So the warehouse is where Vulcan Raven is, and there's another, like I said, another section there, which leads into the underground bases, which is Rex is supposed to be. So all the building of the map, I might just go through and do that because my brain is going to be a little bit on how I want to handle each boss section. We'll get to that when we get to that. Man, we're only at A4, A5 now. 5 out of 7. This is only Tower A. One of the other projects that I was working on that I'm going to have to get is the Blender portion, making your 3D model, porting it into the. So if someone whoever watches ends up being a Blender person, I'll probably even bring this up in other chats because I'm banking, taking on watching 5 minutes, 1 hour into one specific stream. So I might bring this up other, or if anyone else ever brings it up. But I've been was having a tough time getting a genome soldier model, at least its skeleton to attach to its bones, or skeleton to attach to its model in Blender, and then exporting that over to here. I did, and maybe I did this wrong. I was maybe trying to cut corners. Maybe, maybe I'll go back and fix it to the correct way. But I just ripped a skeleton out of one of the, on disk zombies. Ripped its skeleton out, put it in its model, applied the armature skeleton to the model, the modifier, and then tried exporting it from there. And I got into the game, and if I pulled up an ape, which is the asset manager called Black Ops mod, the skeleton will move, the bones will move, which they're invisible. They have those little things that indicate they'll move, but the actual body won't do anything because it's not attached. So maybe I'll have to go through. I'm assuming the animations, like the pre-built animation that they have for all the zombies, they go based on. I'm assuming they go based on bone name. So I don't know if I just want to make my own skeleton, have it attached to it, but name the bones what they are in the game for the animation. So maybe I'll give that a try, but trying to do all that stuff in Blender was taking me too much time. It was preventing me from working on more parts of the map. And I don't know how much, having a genome soldier as the zombies, but right now it's not a necessity. It would be, especially since the model that I found has like 4 different color sets for like clothing, and I'm only worried about the white, to be honest. I get 1 working, 4 working. Then the next thing also would be learning that kind of thing, Blender stuff, so that instead of having these deeply coded bosses that I have, because the tank boss is not probably how a good map maker would make a boss, or the Psycho Mantis boss or Shadow Mantis. Not how a professional coder or a person who's used to doing this kind of stuff would do it. There's no animations. It's not an actual enemy. It's just triggers attached to models and then linked together through an origin point. And they're all linked to it, so wherever that moves, they move to, which is why you don't see and no fingers moving or whatever. But I had to like code the turret to move and then the body not to move, like the tank. But there's downsides to doing it the way that I did it. It's a lot harder to have tons different damages to it, to make it fair. You bring a pistol to the tank boss. Bring a shotgun, depending on how much spread it has, how much damage you'll do. But not not how close you are to it or any of that stuff. Just how much spread hits it, how it's hit it. Meanwhile, you pull out a rocket launcher and you'll do only 50 damage. So, because you're technically only hitting the boss. Like I said, that's the downside of doing things the way that I did them. But in my lack of ability, that was the only way that I could get it done. And, it works for 90% of the cases. Unfortunately, though, That means 10% of the time screws up or it's not adequate. I don't know why I'm saying 3 per step. Maybe I'm overdoing. Goodness, though. Okay, and 6 is a small section. Because I didn't want this during the boss fight. I didn't want the zombie spawning too far away from the players on the. So they'll spawn at max. They should spawn at maximum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maximum five floors down from. So from 25 to 30, they'll spawn. Which is technically floors 23 to 27. My math is 22 to 27. 5 total floors. No, I was right. 20. Sometimes you guys just trust your math, your internal math. You're right. These are 6. Actually, I'm check. 6, and then I named the root base 7. Get up there here. I'll throw spawners up there. And maybe to break up the monotony, I'll side tunnel. Be wherever you're at. 6. I might put less. I could shoot 2 per. That way it forces the. This is probably the most. Well, this is definitely the most vertical port. So, like I said, I'm putting in the spawners for the communications tower, and we will be testing it, if not within the next 20-30 minutes. Probably start up a stream just a little bit later today to do a 20-minute stream of how these spawners work after I compile the map. It probably will take an hour if I want to do proper lighting compilation. That's what is on the docket. Okay, so that'll take care of A6. Now we're on the this will be A7. This is going to be probably where players no, they'll probably survive up here because that's going to be 3 zones. So it'll give it like spread out. Especially it'll be better for whenever there's multiple players. And it'll kind of also thin out the herd too. If there's multiple players in different sections. Which would be good though, because I mean, if you're going to be worrying about whatever I end up figuring out the coding for the helicopter, whatever I end up like I said, learning, figuring out how to do that. Put barrels under here. Players don't hide under there. Gotta name these. What I'll probably do is I'll keep maybe the zombie spawns away from the door entrance. That way, because they're going to be coming up the steps. They're not spawning on the roof, and everyone's in this section. They're going to be coming up the steps, or they're going to be coming from the. I'll try to also keep it away from the stairs. The stairs are also highly an area where you end up getting trapped or dying. As you go down the steps or you're starting to go down the steps, and then all of a sudden it spawns there, it traps you, slows you down, you have to try to jump over it, you mess up, and boom, you're dead. Right, that'll take care of the spawns for Communication Tower A, and only Communication Tower A. That's a lot of spawns. Yeah, so I don't know how well this is showing up on the stream, but all those red little dots are spawn locations. Cave, I broke the cave down into 4 sections. I did that on the end of yesterday's stream. So yeah, that'll be end up beating the Psychomantis boss fight in here. You'll open up the door, go through the cave here. Zombies everywhere. Probably try to put the hellhounds in here. See, you can walk into here. I'll put like a wall by or something. Yeah, all that stuff is be determined. Right now, I'm just having fun. Fun. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. Kind of addicted. The actual building. I went and looked at the picture here. Over to the other view. Is this? Okay, so yeah, I looked this up. This is why the hell are there naked girls on here? This is why you look at things in incognito mode. So what I found out is by looking at the TV, this is DeviantArt, this is VG cartography. I've used his Metal Gear ISO rips and stuff like that to use as a guide, like overhead views and like I said, isometric views of kind of uses as a guide to go by. And as you can see here, the little walkway is actually supposed to be like an open walk, opposed to a closed one. I might have to go back, fix that in my actual map. I mean, I have taken some liberties. Textures aren't exactly the same, in all the areas and whatnot. I've, to the best of my ability and just the amount of time and time that I've put in so far. But yeah, these are supposed to be open walkways. Those like this glass ceiling that I might change that over at some point in time. Probably leave this one closed. I'm turning this into. But for the time being, I'm going to put spawners in it. Bridge. Put spawners in this, and then I'll go back up to the roof near the. Tower bridge. I will also have to put, before it gets released, the viable door where they need to be, or the locked doors where they need to be. Right now, it's just testing everything else. Functionality of the core gameplay. Or bridge spawn. Nikolai. I was using him to guide how tall stuff needed to be. I might just keep him there. A walking. Try to spread these spawns out and not put too many. You'll probably only use the bridge, maybe. Also, like I said, it depends on how I code all this. How I do this quote unquote story or the quest. Open up. Here. Worry about Tower 2 spawners later today or tomorrow. I named the top section dish. That's going to be the dish tower underscore. I'll probably try to keep these because there's going to be so much crap going on. Players are going to. That's not outside the zone. Yeah, so maybe you only put a few spawners up that most like fill in from the one. So yeah, not too crazy. Power P. So yeah, I'll probably start try to finish. I'll probably try to finish Tower B. I don't know if I'll do it on finished on stream. I'll probably give it a good 15 minutes. Okay. Then I'll hurry up and try to get the map compiled. Like I'll put the code in, get the map compiled, and maybe, like I said a couple minutes ago, to try to do a little test of the map, just to see if the spawners are stream it. B7. Always good to know your naming. I already didn't follow my one rule that I always give people, is to save often. Yeah, it was the first time I've saved since I've started working on this. So it's only a little sad whenever. So other things too. My goal is to, like I said, do maybe a 20-minute stream later today, just to play through them. Depending on if I can get it to. Tomorrow I'll probably pick up working on sections of the map, maybe doing some detailing, or maybe fixing any issues that I've got going with the zone. I'll have to brainstorm what I want to do for the boss fight of this section. What I want to do for when the boss is defeated, because you're technically, it's supposed to, like, the roof is supposed to blow. So that'll be fun, figuring out how I want to code that. Then the player's supposed to rappel down the little walkway down. That's supposed to happen. Then do I want teleporters for the elevators instead of the elevators? Because the elevators are very, very janky the way they work in this. I'm not sure if you've played the map, you've seen how it kind of stutters. You probably have to have like two or three different moving parts for the elevator to work the way they do. And then if you do it a certain way, zombies are not. They can't even see that the elevator exists. So that's always fun. Then you just have players who just stand on the elevator because it's a god's spot. At least after this, if this works the way that this works well enough, then I won't have to do any more spawners unless I'm putting dog spawners in after I get that to work, or any other boss spawners if I get that code. Until I get to the snowfield, of course. Now that I think about it, oh, this is just DLC demo, so it's DLC for demo. That would be something that would be very active. But I need to eventually update my setup here. I have a few two monitors over here. One of them I have the stream on, and a little corner of it chat. So if anyone ends up talking in the chat during the live stream, it'll pop up there. I mean, it'll pop up on the actual stream itself, but I won't see that because I have that in the software on the other stream, which almost makes it harder. And the reason why I have that is because I have such was like a 42-inch TV that I do the dang tapping on. So whenever I do shell out cash in the future to upgrade my setup, I'm gonna have to, all these things. I can do a better job of controlling. I'll tell you one thing though. One thing that I've always been terrible at, because I've done like streams before, but they've been all like a talk show almost. And I've always found it really difficult to, how the heck are you going to sit there and talk to yourself, people entertain? Like, I figured that would be boring, but I've probably talked to more stream than I do the entire day. And I'm just talking to myself. And that was always one thing that I struggled whenever I was doing it before, was like coming up with things to say, filling dead air. But it's a little bit easier whenever you convince yourself subconsciously that that what you're talking about is cool, or that you know what you're talking about. So yeah, lying to yourself is also, like I said, probably an hour and a half for the stream. I'm also kind of as like a test for the microphone. how many sounds it picks up. If it picks up me tapping on the table, you know, lawnmowers going by or animals being attacked. Also, doing it to like for system sound. Like the game automatically saves every 5-10 minutes being noise. I put the system sounds down to a good set so that you're not constantly hearing it or blowing out your eardrum. I did listen a little bit to yesterday's stream. It seemed like the audio would clip out. There's like a limiter because I am using a mic, so it'll pick up more things, you know, than traditional streamer XLR microphone. But I put that little voice suppression on there. It was too high of a suppression, so it would cut off half of my words whenever I spoke. And I'm not even that loud to begin, so it made it more difficult. So I wasn't too happy with that. Either the volume was too loud, or it would cut off my words. Five. Also, one thing I've noticed is, let me recent subscriber thing did not update. I had a new subscriber, Brandon M, subscribed yesterday after after the stream ended. I'm surprised that it hadn't updated. I wonder how I have to do that in StreamYard or to pull the new data. So I was kind of hoping that it would do it on its own, but I'll have to mess or tinker around with it a little bit. For all I know, I could have more subscribers or not. Also, for the most part, Hour 2, they're kind of they don't come in top. Like I said, after that helicopter boss, you're supposed to rappel down, supposed to fall down to the, which is where that bridge is, and you're supposed to go from the 9th floor down to the floor 1, where you. So for the most part, a lot of these spawners up here won't even, unless the player feels like it. Which I mean, that's up to them. I'm already trying to think like, what the heck can I even do with all this quote unquote empty space in them? I'll have to put more reasons for people to do. Have 3 different buildable shields. That I guess people, although after they do one of them, I guess the dragon shield is kind of a, especially if I somehow we get the Marcos to work. We're almost there. B5 is the biggest section, or the 5s are the biggest section. As soon as I get through this, I'm almost probably over half. The B4. What? That's it. I'll have them play bingo. Don't worry. Stupid joke. You'll get used to my stupid jokes until I get inside. And then you'll be annoyed. It'll be the don't stop or stop, it's already dead meme. I'll be a jerk. This one will have one right in the top of the steps. I wonder if they do like Treyarch or any of them do like numbers, like some sort of statistics to figure out, what parts of the maps players die the most, struggle the most on, what kind of steps. Also they do that kind of. We are getting there. I have about 18 minutes until I have an alarm. So if I'm still streaming, then plug your ear. Do two. Yep. Probably easier doing what I'm. We're almost got 3, 2, 1. Nice thing though is like in each one of these sections, I believe it'll spawn them on different floors simultaneously. So that it kind of funnels them. So that it's not hitting like 3 of them are spawning at your feet. Maybe 1 will spawn on your floor, 2 will spawn on the next. And then by the time you get up to the next step, the zombies are spawning on the floor, chasing, following and chasing. The dual threat. Right, we are on, which is, yeah, past halfway. And I'm also going to reiterate, I'm going to 20-minute stream later if this compiles properly, where I can test this. The actually gameplay. A little bit, not much. call it a night. Pick up the project. You know what would have been a more fun stream is lighting all this stuff. I think I might have had on for this, I mean, and compiling it. This up. I'm also trying to stream every day just to get some sort of routine. And also, like I said, if I stream every day, it forces me every day, or at least. In case of portals. I have to do the elevator cutscene where there's invisible enemies on the elevator, but I only have the elevator like this big, so I don't think you're gonna fit 4 players in there and enemies. So I'd have to do like a cutscene where it spawns them in a different section. Okay, somehow up the steps. That. Maybe this way. No, I'm just cheating. I got two more on B3. Finish. All right, we are almost at 10 minutes to spare. Or two. Or B2. Caps lock. Getting that. Three, 4, 5, 6. I only got 6 more floors to do. So my question. B2. The next. Okay, I hit it. Dang it. You know, whenever you realize that you went basically a whole hour and a half stream and you didn't drink any of your, and you spent the entire time talking too much, drying your mouth. Testing out the internet. Okay, so it's still good in the mic. Oh, I didn't realize it did. Oh man, I just realized there was chat on a different window. That's ridiculous. The maximum amount of spawners. Um, I know you're no longer here, Brandon. Now. All I know is you don't want to get too ridiculous with it because it has to choose. You know, it uses. I'm assuming it uses some sort of array calculation where it finds the total amount that has that name, and then it randomizes like do one that's the closest player, or it picks a random number and spawns one. So But thank you though for the comment and for the wall and the support. On this corner. BO3. Save it and the stream. B1. And just for repetition's sake, if you're watching this future or currently, feel free to leave a like. Subscribe if you get notified of more streams in the future. Like I plan on doing that one probably in an hour from now to test to see if the honors are. Leave a comment. It's always appreciated, especially like hey, your microphone volume, speak up, blah, great work. Those is good to hear. People have already way beyond my expectations. Go into this shop, team workshop for see the file, which again I have that in the description as well. 15,000 people have downloaded, have this map downloaded, which I think is just kind of ridiculous. But yeah, they're excited to see what, and hopefully I can do at least 1/10 of what my brain. So, and I also have in the description I also have a thing for this that I've been using track of the guides that I write for steps you have to do to complete the quest. Off in a minute, which perfect timing. That does it. Save and time. I had time to better myself. All right. Well, I just did all that without switching back to the. That's also one thing. So let me pull up on the third page up here. So this is what it looks like on the Steam Workshop. I'll actually refresh it here. Profile. It's the JDA 62 profile. 190 ratings, 5-star rating. Pretty crazy. Shadow Incident demo version 2.2. That version came out probably what? Last updated was it June 26th? Yeah, I got an update that I got to push out here soon. A lot of people already shown how much they've liked the map so much. Features listed, but yeah, like right here, 15,000 people currently subscribed, which means they've downloaded the map. I find that kind of ridiculous, and like hopefully keep bumping those numbers up. But like I said, hopefully hopefully I can please them with what else I have to put out. So if you do have the game free, leave some comments. There are some good ones here. Like I said, this person commented about not being able to use the elevator. I might have them send me a message some way. That's also kind of why I opened up the Discord. Might be a quicker, easier way to chat directly with me, other than having to add me as a friend on Steam, waiting for me to be online, responding back. By that time, you're not even in the game anymore. So, I had to bring all of that up. Again, it's been fun. I've enjoyed. I'll be wrapping the stream up here. All right, so let me first save. Save the. Figure out what the heck I'm even clicking on. Nope, I'm gonna save this. Compile it. Throw in some code to allow the zombies to spawn, the player to walk here, and I will be back here shortly and stream. I'll keep an eye out for that, and I will stream following days too, and we will see what becomes of it and how long, how much progress I can make, how well it. So with that, I am Jadis Delete, or like I said, Jadis62 on Steam. Tuning in or watching this, and for all the support. Take care, guys.